Question, how do you love God? Celia? That's the good answer. Because a lot of people just, they act like they know everything. But the greatest answer, if you don't know something, is to say that you don't know so you can get the answer.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
What about you, sis? How do you love God?
I think to like follow the Bible.
To follow the Bible. That's a good answer. Now, but what does that mean? What does it mean to follow the Bible? So if the Bible say, a man should keep a beard on his face and he don't, do you love God?
I think to like not sin.
To not sin. That's a good. But what is sin? You see that? Everything got its own definition. How do you know you in sin if you don't know what sin is? What is sin?
Right.
What is sin, sis? You see what I'm saying? How you know that you because you may litter on the ground. Is that sin?
I don't know.
You don't know, right? So you don't know what sin is. You may have a boyfriend. Is that sin?
I don't know.
You see what I'm saying? So how do you know? How could you say to not sin if you don't know what sin is? Let's go, hold that. Go get sin right quick.
The book of 1 John chapter 3 verse 4.
Let's find out what sin is, because her answer is right. She said to love God is how to love God is not to sin. That's what you said, right? Your answer is correct, but if you don't have the exact definition on what you're doing, then guess what? You'll never know that you in the midst of sin, that you a sinner, that you going against your God.
Right.
Read what you got.
Whosoever committed sin.
Whosoever committed what?
Sin.
The topic is sin. Now it's going to give you the definition of sin. Come on.
Transgresses also the law.
Say if you sin, you transgress the law. Right. If you sin, you transgress the law.
Right.
What does transgress mean? Exactly. It means you break it or go against it.
Right.
Come on.
For sin is.
For sin what?
For sin is.
Now it's just telling you what sin is. For sin is what?
For sin is.
What is sin?
The transgression of the law.
So sin is literally the breaking of God's laws. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So if you're in the midst of sin, you're breaking God's laws, that means you don't love him. But if you keep the commandments and keep God's laws, that means you what? That means you love him.
Half the time you can't keep God's law because a man-made laws is what helps you break God's law.
No, the man-made laws ain't got nothing to do with God's laws, because if you know God's laws, they still you will be able to keep sis, Celia. Listen to this, Celia, because guess what? The laws of the land is not a terror to good works.
That's
Give me
right.
Romans chapter 13, verse 1. Let's prove it. The laws of the land don't have nothing to do, and it don't make you transgress God's law.
Right.
It's your mind that make you transgress God's law. It's your mind, because guess what? Let me get over here. It's your mind that want to listen to the prisoner rather than the king.
Right.
That's your mind wanting to listen to this man other than this man.
That's right.
This man runs the laws of the land.
Right.
This ain't Jesus.
Come on.
This man runs the Israelites.
Teach us.
Right.
He run the whole world when it all boils down to it. He is not a terror to him. Come on, read that.
The book of Romans chapter 13.
That man's a damn liar. Come on.
Right.
Verse 1.
Read it.
Let every soul be subject unto the higher power.
It said, let every soul be subject unto the higher power, meaning the people that rule the land. Come on.
For there is no power but of God.
You see that? Guess what? He only in this spot because why? Because God allowed that. Because of you and your sin and you breaking God's laws, this is why this power is over us. Y'all understand that? Read.
The powers that be are ordained of God.
It said the powers that be are ordained to God. So there's no way that they can go against them. Come on.
Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resist the ordinance of God.
Read.
And they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation.
They that resist shall receive damnation. Come on.
For the rulers are not a terror to good work.
There go the point. For what?
For the rulers are not a terror to good
So the
work.
scripture is telling you the laws of the land cannot stop you from keeping the laws of God.
Right.
It's not a terror to good works.
Right.
You get that, bro?
Well, God's laws doesn't say if you don't pay your taxes, you got to go to prison. So
You don't. But
but they enforcing that law. That's why I said that.
But that ain't got nothing to do with God's law. Nothing
Right.
at all.
Right.
The God's law say, Curtis, keep a beard on your face. Yeah, go to Leviticus 21:5. Because guess what? Does the law of the land or your taxes stop you from keeping a beard on your face? When I can clearly see that you could grow one? You see what I'm saying? That's God's law. That don't negate the fact. Taxes don't negate the fact that you got to keep God's law. Like does taxes negate the fact that a woman shouldn't wear what a man does? Does that stop that?
Yeah.
Just because you don't pay taxes? I mean, you say you don't have to pay taxes. Does that negate the fact that you have to? That a woman shouldn't wear what a man does? It don't, right? So you still got to do that, right? So that law of the land, it's not a terror to you keeping God's commandments. That's my point. You got what he wanted? Get it.
The book of Matthew, chapter 22, verse 21. They say unto him, Caesar. Then saith he unto them,
come on,
render therefore unto Caesar.
Render unto Caesar
the things which are Caesar's.
The things that are his, because guess what? This is his rule. This is his kingdom. That's why the scriptures say in Romans 13, if you go against the laws of the land, you're gonna face damnation. Just keep them.
That's right.
It's cheaper to do it. It's cheaper to do it that way, so you don't have to get put in bondage.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Pay your damn taxes.
Right.
That's all you gotta do. You wanna be the scriptures say if you're not if you can't take care of what's another man's, how you gonna take care of your own?
The image of the superscription.
Who is the image that's on the money? Go ahead.
They say unto him, Caesar.
Caesar is who on the money.
Then saith he unto them.
Why is Caesar on the money? Because Caesar is in rulership.
That's right.
When we're in rulership, we don't have to pay no taxes.
Right.
But being that we're in captivity right now, hold that. We are yet this day in our captivity. Where is that? Baruch what? 3:8. Give me Baruch 3:8 real quick. We're going to come right back there.
The book of Baruch, chapter 3, in verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
Are we not yet this day in our captivity? Have we not been taken from a land, brought to another land as slaves, and been here ever since?
Right.
We're in captivity today. We are yet this day in our captivity. Go ahead.
Where thou hast scattered us.
Where the Lord scattered us. Why did the Lord scatter us in captivity? For our disobedience to God's laws.
Right.
God tells us to put a beard on our face. We don't want to do simple things like that.
Right.
God said if you lay with the woman, you marry her.
Right.
Well, is there not baby mama, baby daddy, single parent households out here?
Right.
It's been that way all the way since back then. There's no new thing under the sun. We're
That's
still
right.
in the same wickedness that got us put here. We still doing it.
Right.
That's why it's getting worse and worse for us. But once we start to change, guess what? God is going to start to remove these things from us.
That's right.
Take the cup of trembling out of our hand and put it in the hand of our enemies, the nations that did this to us. Read that.
For reproach and a curse.
We've been put here for what?
For reproach and a curse.
For a reproach and a curse. Us being in captivity here is a curse. It's the curse of God because we, as his children, won't obey his law. That's like if you got any kids?
I help take care of a lot of kids.
You help take care of a lot of kids, right? So if you tell those kids you help take care of, don't do that, or this is going to happen to you, and then they do it anyway, and it happens to them. You told them, right?
Right.
Same thing God said to us. He said, keep my commandments, or you're going to go into slavery by way of slave ship.
Right.
Did slave ships happen?
Yeah.
Did you know slave ships was in the Bible?
I technically didn't finish the Bible. I just know don't do nothing stupid. Go about your business.
Don't do nothing stupid. Go about your business. Digging in your nose and wiping the booger on the table. That's something
hell
stupid,
no, that's
right?
That's nasty.
It's nasty.
That's
It's
common
something
sense.
stupid. But does it go against God's laws? No, it don't. So to say not doing nothing stupid is kind of vague. It's kind of an answer.
Yeah, it's
But when God says, you know what I'm saying? If you have sex with that sister, now you got to make that your wife. Now it's specific.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? We got to get specific with God's laws because our people will try to play semantics with it. You see what I'm saying? You got to get specific with what God says so now the people know what to do and what not to do.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? Read that.
And to be subject to payment.
Subject to taxes because we're in captivity. Go back.
The book of Matthew, chapter 22, verse 21. They say unto him, Caesar. Then said he unto them, render therefore unto Caesar the things that which are Caesar's.
Give Caesar his taxes because his face is on the money anyway and y'all in captivity. Give Caesar what is Caesar's. Go ahead.
And unto God.
And unto God, which is his commandments,
The things that are God's.
The things that are God's are his commandments.
Right.
We are his children.
Right.
So therefore, we must keep God's commandments. Let me ask y'all this. Brother, what's your nationality? Yeah. Huh? Black, right? Black is a color in a crayon box. What country is there called black?
Come on.
Where's there a country called black? Nowhere, right? So you can't be where you're not from anywhere. So what's your nationality? African American. Where Africa comes from Leo Scipius Africanus, who conquered that landmass during the Second Punic War and named it after himself. That's a white man.
Right.
America comes from Amerigo Vespucci, who commissioned Christopher Columbus's voyage over here. Right. That's another European white man.
Right.
A man's nationality comes after the people in which he derives from.
That's
So
right.
you derive from two white men? Then you're not African American.
That's right.
What about you? What's your nationality?
I'm gonna go with the same thing here, but what you saying is we're not African American.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying what the truth is.
Right.
So therefore,
Oh no, I was agreeing with you.
right. So now I ask you.
Okay, put it to the right vocabulary.
Right. So now I ask you, according to your own knowledge, what's your understanding? We're not African American and we're not black. So now we get to you. What are you? We're African.
I say that all the time.
Give me Isaiah 3.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner.
So an ox is a dumb animal. But God says an ox knows his owner, meaning knows who owns him, knows who his God is, for lack of better words. Come on.
In the ass, his master's crib.
As stubborn as a donkey is, he knows where his homeland is. There's no land called black. There's no land called African America.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? The land of Africa was originally called Ham after the Hamites.
That's right.
Come on.
Bring it out.
But Israel
But the children of Israel, God's chosen people,
doeth not know.
they don't know who they are. They think they black,
Right.
they think they African American,
Right.
and they're not sure. They don't
right.
know who they actually
Come
are in today's time.
My people.
Whose people?
My people.
Who is God's people? Read up again, but who?
But Israel
Go ahead.
doeth not know.
But the Israelites don't know that they're the Israelites.
That's right.
Go ahead.
My people
God says, my people who are not sure who they actually are,
Come on.
doeth not consider.
they don't consider that they're the Israelites.
Right.
They think they're black. They think they're African American.
Right.
They're not sure because they don't know exactly where they came from because their names were stripped from them, their lands were stripped from
Right.
them, and they was integrated in a society that hates them and keeps them on the bottom.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So according just that scripture alone, who are you according to the Bible?
Teach.
Who are we? We're the Israelites.
That's right.
Saith the Lord. Let me ask you this. I'm gonna give it right back to you right now. How did we get here? How did we get here to this land?
Slave ships.
Slave ships, right? Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 45. Bring it out.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, in verse 45.
Read that.
Moreover, all these curses
all these curses
shall come upon thee,
would come upon you as a nation of people. Go ahead.
and shall pursue thee.
Meaning there's nowhere you can run. If you go to Spain, they got a derogatory name for you. If you go to, give me another one. If you go to Japan, Australia, they got a derogatory name for you. These curses would pursue you. Go ahead.
And overtake thee,
And they would overtake you
till thou be destroyed.
until you be destroyed as a nation.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Because
Now God is about to tell you why these curses would overtake you and destroy you and pursue you. Because
thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
we didn't hearken to the voice of God. Hearken means to hear.
Right.
To hear means to understand and do. It's like if you tell your kid, boy, get in there and clean that kitchen. You hear me? Does that mean, did you just hear what I said? Did that mean all you had to do was just take it in and hear it? What does that mean when you say get in there and clean that kitchen? Did you hear me? What does that mean? Huh? That means you got to comprehend it and actually take action to doing it.
Right.
Or you're going to receive the consequence that comes from it. Right? Read that again.
Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy
Read it from the
God.
top.
Verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments.
See that? Because we hearken not to the voice of God to keep his commandments. Jump to verse 68. What would happen to us because we would not hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God to keep his commandments? What would happen?
Verse 68, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Egypt is another word for bondage or slavery. Sis, what's your nationality? Mexican, right? So according to this chart right here, when you look on this chart, what do you see Mexican? The tribe of Issachar.
That's right.
Is the word Mexican actually in the Bible? No. But guess what? Your true biblical name is written in the Bible. Just like African American or black is not written in the Bible. But everybody's documented in there somewhere. You're the tribe of Issachar.
That's right.
The nation of Israel. And that's what we're reading about, showing our people who they are according to the Bible so that they'll understand who they are. Because guess what? We're walking around out here with no purpose.
That's
we're walking
right.
around out here going against God's law.
Right.
And it has our people in a lower state. It has us destroying one another, killing one another, robbing one another. Can't get ahead in life. Can't get a job. Some of us out here robbing, stealing. Some of us out here selling drugs. Some of us out here selling behind. Some of us out here, you know what I'm saying, panhandling. All because we're not keeping God's law. So what we're reading is the Deuteronomy 28 curses which identify who the children of Israel are. Then once we read that, we go into the laws showing you, after you understand that you're this people, we're going to go into some laws. But no, don't go nowhere. Come back up here. Read that.
Verse 68, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Slavery again.
With ships.
Let me ask you this, sis. Well, let me ask you first. Did blacks ever go into slavery? Yeah, right. Did Mexicans ever go into slavery?
Thank you. And I understand that.
Yes.
Bring it out.
Mexicans went into slavery during the time of Hernan Cortez and the conquistadors, Christopher Colombo, when they came over here speaking Spanish. Spanish comes from Spain. Spain is in Europe. How do you speak Spanish today if you were never conquered or enslaved? You see what I'm saying? So guess what? Before in 1492, when Christopher Columbus came, they took the Mexicans and natives over to Spanish for 200 years. That's why you speak Spanish today. And then in 1619, they came and got us from the shores of West Africa and brought us here, and that's why we speak English. You see what I'm saying? We're speaking the language of our captors and oppressors. So we all would be taken into Egypt again. What does the word Egypt mean? Get that for me real quick. Just to show you what it means.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 2.
What are we reading? The Bible.
That's right.
Read.
I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
Out of the land of Egypt.
Out of the house of bondage.
Out of the house of bondage. So what is Egypt synonymous with? Out of the house of bondage. So what's another word for bondage? Slavery. There you go. Now read it again. Go back and read it again. Now that we know Egypt means slavery, thus saith the Lord, now that should make the prophecy have better understanding. Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Into slavery again.
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
Who went into slavery with ships? See what I'm saying? Where that sign at? Pick it up for me. This didn't only happen to so-called African Americans. This also happened to Mexicans and Native Americans too.
That's right.
You see what it happened to y'all before it happened to us. Who is the Lord speaking to? The Israelites. Who did God say that this would happen to? The Israelites. So if it happened to you as a people, and God said over 3,000 years ago it would happen to the Israelites, who does that make you? Who does that make you? Biblically, what does that make you? You're not by nationality, you're what?
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.